Hello, pattern lovers. You're welcome and welcome back. It's yet another exciting tutorial, and in today's video, we'll be learning how to go about this gorgeous black dress. Everything about this dress is just the highlight, from the neckline to the sleeve that comes with the yoke, to the panel skirt, and to the concept of the dart on the upper bodice. So if you're interested in that, let me show you how. Here I already created a space for both front pattern and the back pattern, and for the front pattern I have the shoulder line, the bust point line, the waistline. Then for the back I have the shoulder line and the waistline and the center back. Here on the front pattern I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 4 on the shoulder line, then go down to the chest line and mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 again on that point, and also mark the chest line on this end. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing on this back pattern, the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I'll go down to the chest line and mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 again on that point. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect all of these, and now we have the shoulder measurement and the chest line ready for both front and back. Now I'm going to mark the standard neck width yet, and then I'm going to go down to 1.5 to slope the shoulder and connect it to the neck width this way. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to come down to the neck depth, and for the neck depth, I recommend using your standard neck depth plus 1 inch. Let's say mine is about 3 inches. I'll add 1 inch to it, making it 4 inches. And then you're going to just give it a V shape or a round shape like this. I'll be showing you the effect of this round neckline shape here later on in this video. Then I'm going to get the bust measurement divided by 4, get the midpoint of this line from the shoulder slope to the chest line here, and then use that as a guide to cover the armhole. Notice that we are not tightening any chest line to cover the armhole like we usually do here. You don't need that. I'm going to mark the bust span on the bust point line and also on the waist line, then use my straight ruler to connect the two like this. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to do my dart intake of 1.5. So on both sides of this bust span line, I will mark 0.75, then use my ruler to give it this dart shape like this. Next, I'm going to get the waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 1.5 dart intake. I'll replace it, then go ahead and connect from the bust measurement to the waist measurement with my straight ruler like this. The next thing we are going to do is to come down here to the bust dart, and for me, my bust dart value is 1.5, and I shape it like you see me do it here. On this neck depth, I'm going to go in 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to place my curve like this and curve it to the chest line. Now, how you place your curve here depends on how much cleavage you're going to have. So the more you want to expose some flesh, the more you make it the curve very deep. Or just basically slant it like you see me do it here if you don't want to expose too much. Now we are going to tighten this line, and to do that proper, I'll get the midpoint of this shoulder slope line. Then I'm going to connect it like I'm taking it all the way to that shoulder, but I'm just starting from this line here. You see what I did here? Then I'm going to go out here to about 0.75 to tighten this line, yeah, and connect it to the bust span on the bust point line, the same way you see me do it. Then we are going to be doing the yoke, and I'm coming out here or coming in 2.5. Then from the shoulder tip, I'll come in 2.5 again, or better still, you maintain the midpoint of the shoulder slope, the one we got earlier, yeah, and I'll connect the two like this. So this part will be the top part. Then we are going to measure from here to this line and from here to this line. Keep that in mind, or better still, you won't even be needing that because of the method we use in this video. Then coming to the back pattern, I already have the shoulder measurement here. I'll mark the standard neck width. Then the shoulder slope is 1 inch. I'll connect it to the neck width, the same way you see me do it. Then I'm going to get the midpoint of this part, mark it, and leave it there for now. Now I'm going to tighten the center back with about 0.75. I'll mark it like this. Then I'm going to use my straight ruler to take it all the way to the shoulder line, the same way. Now I'm going to start from this line and take the bust measurement divided by 4. Then on the waistline, the waist measurement divided by 4. There's no dart intake for the back. You don't even need that. Then I'm going to connect the two. Then connect from that midpoint we got earlier to the bust width this way. Now I'm going to be doing the neckline, and I'm going in here to about 2.5. The same thing we did for the front here. Then for the neck depth, you can decide to maintain your chest line or you go down to that, but I recommend maintaining your chest line as the neck depth for the back. Now I'm going to mark the neck depth on the center back contour line. Then I'm going to connect it from the neck depth to the neck width like this. Now I'm going to follow this center back contour line and add my zipper allowance of 1 inch. I'll just follow the contour line and add the it's just 1 inch that I usually use. So if you are comfortable with half inch, just go ahead and do it at this point. Then I'm going to extend this line just this way because we now have the yoke and the bodice pattern now. Can you see that? Pretty much done, but we are also supposed to tighten the yoke. Since you already tightened the bodies, we are meant to also tighten the yoke so that they will match up when joining them. So you can decide to take up this dart all the way to the shoulder line to tighten the yoke, or better still, you start from this line now and go into that same value we used to tighten the neckline earlier. Do you remember that? So you just go in here, then you take it back to the neck width on the shoulder line this way. And then when you are joining the yoke, you're still going to start here. That's why you have to notch that part so that you start joining the yoke from that point. And then they are going to align with the bodies when you are joining the yoke to the bodies. Do you understand? Then I will through the dart legs here, make the shorter one to be as long as the long one and blend it in like you see me doing it here. And that's pretty much about it. Next thing we are going to do now is to cut. So I'm going to separate the two patterns like you see me doing it here. Cut out the back pattern, then we are going to work with the front pattern. So after cutting it out, it's important that you label. You can see how the bodice is looking. Just label to know which part is which part so that you don't misuse it. Now I'll slash this dart line, then open it up here, and then I'm going to be closing the waist dart just the same way you can see me do it. The slashed one, you place it on the other dart leg, then I'll slash the bust dart too, then close it this way. You see that we are transferring all of these darts to the center front. Can you see that? I'll blend in the side seam and also the waistline. Now we are also going to close the gaping darts, and all of this we are transferring all the darts to the center front, and this would give your bust enough room to sit and not press or compress your bust. It's just going to just have enough space for it to shine. Then I'll cut the rest of the pattern out. Now for the neckline, you can decide to just measure like this. Can you see? Or better still, you measure around this neckline and compare it to what you measured earlier and see which one you can work with. But if the neck curve is deeper or much more than measuring it just straight, just go ahead and use it. Use that to cut out a strap that will go around your neckline like that. Or you can just make it as long as possible so that you just tie it and it's just going to drop on your center back. Do you understand? Then you're notching this part. Very important. Notch that part that you're going to start fixing your yoke from. And now we have the patterns ready for the upper part. And for the yoke, we are going to be joining them like this for the sleeve. But first, let's go ahead. While we join the yoke and keep aside, we are going to work on the sleeve. For the sleeve, I used an off-shoulder sleeve for this tutorial, but be rest assured that you can use your normal sleeve and not an off-shoulder sleeve. Every method I'll be sharing here is just the same, except that I use an off-shoulder sleeve. So you're going to get your sleeve length and then your sleeve width, what you usually use to cut out your sleeve. That's what you're going to need. Then for this part, that is why I said you can use just your regular sleeve or your normal sleeve and not an off shoulder, because what determines what you're using here now is not what we usually use to cut out your regular off shoulder sleeve. For me it's 4 inches, but here I think I did about 6 inches. So yeah, just use your basic sleeve so you don't go about, so you're not confused. Yeah. Then I'll cover the sleeve like you see me do it there. Then go down to the elbow. On that point, I'll mark the elbow circumference. And then on the sleeve length, I'll mark the sleeve length circumference or my wrist circumference there. Then I'm going to connect all the measurements like this. Then I try to blend in this other part. And I'm going to cut out the pattern, and after cutting it out I noticed that this other end is too pointy, so I had to shed off a little, and yeah, it's looking better. You're going to open your sleeve up like this, and then you're going to join this. like this. You're going to tape them down like this. And looking at it like this, you see that this would even work better with a normal sleeve. So if you don't want to use an off-shoulder sleeve, use a normal sleeve. It's still the same. The process I'm sharing here will still work with a normal sleeve. So after taping them down, the yoke and the sleeve, this is what it's looking like on the inside. And then on this other side, which we just call the outside, this is what it's looking like. Now I'm coming here, I'm going to be blending in this part. This is for the front part here. So I'm going to just use my water glue like you see me do it here. I'm going to apply it like this, then attach the fresh paper this way, then use my curve to blend it in to look like an armhole or a sleeve curve like you see me do it here. I'll just blend it in and then I'm going to cut it out because that's pretty much about it. This part is for the front and the front is curvy, so we just have to blend it in to work with it. And then if I bring in the front pattern, you see that yeah, it's just aligning properly, just exactly where the yoke is supposed to start. And yeah, everything is just aligning. Then coming to the back, you see that the back there's no armhole there, and you see that we have excess. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do is to shed off this excess now. Just use it to trace it and mark it, then you're going to shed it off. If you're also using a normal sleeve, go ahead and repeat the same thing I'm doing here, just that it might be different and even easier, but just go ahead and blend in every part because whatever it is you have on your pattern, that's how it's going to come out. And yeah, after doing that, you're going to have it like this. So make sure that you have enough length, your sleeve length where you want it to get on your hand. Just go ahead and make sure you have the length. You can even decide to add about 2 inches to the normal length so that at the end of the day, if you need to cut off, you cut off instead of having a shortage and what you're supposed to have or what you want to have. Then for the sleeve now, you're going to get your two net, the color you're working with here, and then you're going to start pleating. Just place it like this in a way that it covers the sleeve, and then you're going to start pleating just on the midpoint of the paper. And you're going to use your pattern paper. Very important. You can use a newspaper, but you just have to use a paper. And then you get the midpoint of that paper. Your two will be visible like this, yeah. So you're going to pleat more like gather, but make sure it's in the middle. And after running a stitch to hold all the gathers down, you're going to arrange it on the side and then you're going to stitch it down on both sides, following the same shape you have on your paper. And you're cutting this paper, two of that for the two hands, yeah. But this is just how you go about it. Just use a paper so that afterwards you're going to tear off the paper and your sleeve will still remain the same. You're going to fix it on the body. So you're cutting two pieces of the sleeve, two pieces of the back bodice. Then for the front pattern, you're going to be cutting this part on fold. By unfold, you're going to fold your fabric this way, yeah, and then you place it on the folded part this way. This part, yeah. Then from the that opening, you're going to add your joining allowance. You add your allowance on the waistline, you add your desired allowance on the side seam, and then your sewing allowance on the armhole part or the neckline part. Okay, but then on this part, on this midpoint from the opening, you're going to add your allowance. Then you're going to measure the dart. Yeah, measure it to know where you pick your dart and sew it to, but just make sure you add your allowance here. That's the whole concept of this pattern. Yeah, transfer the darts nicely to the other side so that you have the same or you have it uniform at the end of the day. Then for the skirt, you're going to cut a 180 degrees flare, just enough to go around your waist plus your zipper allowance, then plus extra 4 inches, whatever it is you're calculating, add 4 inches to it. Then remember your zipper allowance and use all of that as your radius, yeah. And after marking your radius, then you're going to mark the length of the skirt. Just follow the traces of your radius to mark the length of the skirt, and after that you're going to cut it out. It's just a 180 degrees flare, but just enough to go around your waistline plus the 4 inches, and that 4 inches will be joining allowance, because after cutting it out, you're going to shed it into two like this, and one will be for the front, the other one will be for the back. Do you understand? And then you're also going to share it into two again so that you have a joining on the center front to follow the same joining that you'll be having from the dart opening. Do you understand that? So you're going to slash it like you see me do it here, and also slash the other one and then you have 4 pieces in total, 2 pieces for the front, 2 pieces for the back. And yeah, joining will be on the center front, and then the back you have your zipper allowance, and that also makes it a joining on the center back. But yeah, that's pretty much about how you go about the skirt. There is no point indicating this part is the center front, this part is the center back, since it's just the same thing. It's the 180 degrees flare, and it's going to give you the same effect. But then you're going to use a heavyweight fabric. Don't use a lightweight fabric for this. Your fabric has to be heavyweight to give you that same effect that you see on the thumbnail. For it to come out like that, use a fabric that is really structured, and you're going to transfer all of these patterns to your fabric, add the necessary allowance, and happy sewing. And with that, I'll be seeing you on my next one. Bye bye.